Good day, everyone. Today we will learn about the steps of scientific investigation. Scientists are like detectives. They ask questions, gather information, and look for answers. In this lesson, we will learn the first steps scientists use to solve mysteries and discover new things. Before we can learn the steps, let's see how science is similar to following a recipe. When we follow a recipe, we need ingredients, tools, instructions. Scientists do something very similar when they investigate a question. They need a goal, materials, and steps to follow. Just like a recipe helps us make a delicious treat, scientific investigation helps us find answers and learn new things. Let's look at the important parts of a scientific investigation. A scientific investigation follows several important steps. Scientists begin with an aim or problem. Then they gather the materials and equipment they need. Next, they follow a method or procedure to test their ideas. After that, they collect the results and data. Finally, they make a conclusion based on what they discovered. These steps help scientists work carefully and fairly. Today, we will follow and focus on the first few steps of an investigation. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify the first three steps of a scientific investigation. Create simple question to investigate. List the materials and numbered steps needed for an investigation. These skills will help you think like a young scientist. Before scientists start investigating, they need tools to observe the world around them. Did you know that you already have special tools for investigating? These tools are your five senses. You use your eyes to see, ears to hear, nose to smell, tongue to taste, and skin to feel. Scientists use their senses to make observation and gather information. Our senses help us notice details and ask questions about the world around us. Once scientists observe something interesting, they begin planning to find answers. Imagine you find a mystery box. You cannot open it. You do not know what is inside. What would you do? Scientists start by asking a question and making a plan. Before doing an experiment, they carefully think about what they want to find out and how they will investigate it. Planning helps scientists stay organized and increases their chance of finding the correct answer. Science is a lot like baking a cake. When baking, we need a goal, ingredients, and steps to follow. In science, we also need three important things: an aim, which tells us what we want to find out; materials, which are the tools and the items we need; a procedure, which is a list of steps we follow. Just like a recipe helps us bake a cake, a science plan helps us answer a question. Let's take a closer look at these three important parts of a science plan. Every science investigation starts with three key pieces. First is the aim. The aim is the question we want to answer. It often starts with words like how, what, or does. Second are the materials. These are the tools and objects we need for the investigation. Third is the procedure. This is a list of number steps that tells us exactly what to do. When we all have three parts, we are ready to investigate. Now let's take a look at a real example of a science investigation. Here is an example of a science plan. The aim is to find out if sugar dissolves faster in hot water or cold water. The materials include 2 cups, hot water, cold water, sugar, a spoon, and a timer. The procedure tells us exactly what to do. Number 1, pour hot water into 1 cup and cold water into another. Add the same amount of sugar to each cup. Stir and time how long it takes for the sugar to dissolve. This example shows how an investigation is organized step by step. Let's build our own science plan together. Let's create a science investigation. Our question is, does a heavy coin fall faster than a light coin? The materials are a 10 peso coin and a 1 peso coin, a ruler. The procedure is, number 1, hold both coins at the same time. Number 2, drop them at the same time. Number 3, watch carefully to see which coin reaches the floor first. By following these steps, we can test our question fairly. Now it's your turn to think like a scientist. For this activity, your team will choose one investigation. Does a plastic ruler bend more than a wooden ruler? Or does a wet sponge clean chalk better than dry sponge? Your task is to write the aim, list the materials, and create the procedure. Work together and remember to make your steps clear and easy. Before we finish, let's practice fixing a science plan that needs improvement. This science plan is missing some important details. The aim is unclear, and the materials and the steps are incomplete. As young scientists, our job is to improve it. We need to find the missing materials, rewrite the steps clearly, number the steps in the correct order. A good science plan should be easy to understand and follow. A good science plan needs clear and exact steps. Why is it important? Clear steps help prevent mistakes and confusion. If another student in a different school or even a different country does the same investigation, they should be able to follow the exact steps. When scientists repeat an investigation to check if they get the same results, it is called replication. A clear plan helps everyone test fairly and get reliable results. Now let's see if we can find something missing in a science plan. Let's be science detectives. The aim asks, does a plant grow taller with milk or water? The materials listed are 2 small potted plants, water. But wait, something is missing. If we want to compare milk and water, we also need milk in our materials list. Without milk, we cannot complete the investigation. This shows why checking our materials carefully is very important before starting. Good planning is important in science, but we also use planning in our everyday lives. Planning is useful almost everywhere. Think about following a recipe when cooking. You need ingredients and steps before you begin. The same is true when organizing your school schedule or completing household chores. A good plan helps us stay organized, save time, and avoid mistakes. That is why planning is the most important skill scientists use. Your home mission is to think like a scientist. Find one simple question that you would like to investigate at home. For example, does my dog prefer chicken or beef? Or which soap makes most bubbles? Then write your aim or question, the materials you need. You do not need to do the experiment yet. Just practice creating a good science plan. Don't forget, also add the procedures. Thank you for listening and have a good day.